What's poppin'? It's DJ Miss Jetson, and you're here with the Red Kool-Aid Podcast. Appreciate you guys for tuning in. Look, I'm not even going to hold you. Let's get straight to it. Tekashi 6ix9ine went to court last week, testified. It ended at the beginning of this week with his driver testifying about what went on with the kidnapping and other things that went on with the 9 Trey Gangsta Bloods from New York. We all know the story. I'm pretty sure there's plenty of content and things going around on YouTube about this. And again, it's something that we all knew that Tekashi would do. Go back to some old podcast that I made where I was talking about Tekashi, and I said that this would happen, and if it all came down to it, wouldn't be surprised. Matter of fact, he will snitch. So that's not even the surprising part of this, and everybody's making that a big deal. Oh, he's snitching. We knew that he would do that. He's not cut from that like that. He was just around a bunch of dudes that made him feel himself. That made him feel like he could let his hang. You feel me? So that's why, he was like that. But at the end of the day, you could tell he wasn't cut from that. We kept seeing things. He was a Crip before. Before he was a Crip, he traveled over and did music and this. He was just trying to find his way. What helped him out was 9 Trey. He got around some real street dudes that was known around Brooklyn, that was known and to be real, known in the jails, and it helped him out. Put him in the video, started hanging out with Shotty and all the other dudes that he hung out with that, is caught up in his BS now. And it's now we're here. But again, that's not the surprising part to me. What's the part to me that's messed up is one, them dudes knowing that he wasn't necessarily cut from that cloth and knowing that, okay, he's the bag, if that's how they was going to move, should have made it that way. But, and it's not them, I'm going to say Shotty. Shotty let him in. If we all say it was Shotty, Shotty let a lot of ish be known, and that money started coming in looking different for them dudes, and they started really treating him like he was from gang. But in reality, he wasn't from gang. So the loyalty and the codes and stuff that y'all is going by, he ain't going by. He really just there for the bag. Y'all helping him with his image. And that's it. But because y'all are at this point most likely seeing money you ain't never seen before. And when I'm saying y'all, I'm like Shotty, because that was the one closest to him. That was at the end of the day, it's not even about 6ix9ine. Really, at the end of the day, he got 9 Trey beefing within their set, because you got Shotty and Mel beefing with Harv and whoever is on his side. But at the same time, you got Mel, who don't really mess with Shotty because Shotty's close to 6ix9ine, and 6ix9ine is the bag. So at the end of the day, all full circle, all of them was mad and fighting over 6ix9ine because 6ix9ine started to become the bag, and he chose to run with Shotty. And at some point, Shotty obviously decided to be like, I'm going to keep you away from these dudes. Whether it was Shotty who said it, whether it was 6ix9ine, like, nah, whatever. This is what's going on. At the end of the day, all them dudes was extorting him. Shotty was probably going to be his best bet. Now, I talked about Shotty. I always used to be like, if that's your OG, he's not very smart. I think Shotty's fairly shiesty too. But if not for nothing, at the end of the day, Shotty could have been the one. Him and 6ix9ine could have really made this stuff pop. But Shotty wasn't smart enough to start to use his brain. He was so stuck in being this shiesty dude, this street dude. He was like in the middle. Like, I don't think Shotty didn't mess with 6ix9ine, especially once the money start coming. Sometimes money does buy loyalty, man. But then towards the end, when we see things happening, 6ix9ine going on the Breakfast Club talking about this was happening, that was happening. To be honest with you, I don't even know what Shotty did or said, because that hasn't came out yet. I've heard the Mel, I've heard Harv, I've heard all these different, and then I heard Shotty talking, but not till after the Breakfast Club interview. And if there's something I'm missing, somebody write me, put it in the comments and tell me. But I don't even ever recall Shotty really ever dissing 6ix9ine publicly until 6ix9ine started dissing him. So at the end of the day, out of anybody who was possibly riding with him enough, that it was shoddy. But you had the other dudes who saw the bag coming in. Shoddy was eating, 6ix9ine eating, everybody that they got on their side eating, but we ain't eating no more. That became a problem, and y'all know these dudes on these streets is petty. They petty. And that's the interesting part of this story to me. Not 6ix9ine snitching. We knew he was going to snitch. What would be interesting is to find out, hey, was he an informant the whole time? Was he on some Donnie Brasco-ish? That would be interesting to find out in the future. But as of right now, him snitching and doing, that's not surprising. That's not surprising, and that's not what's most intriguing to me. What's most like, man, I'm looking at it is watching these dudes within themselves who been around and kicking it and doing their thing for a decade or decades. Let this one dude come in and break them all up. Obviously, the Fed's been on 9 Trey for years, maybe months, whoever knows how long. And then this one rapper kid was able to come in and blow up the whole spot. That's what's interesting to me. Not 6ix9ine snitching. People are like, can he come home and have a career and do this? Probably. I don't know. There's going to be a lot of people that don't mess with him. But you can't, you got a lot of kids who just don't know no better. They just going to do whatever. And it is what it is. That just shows you the type of cloth that the younger generation is cut from. And even some of I'm not even going to just say that, just people are cut from. There's going to be some old heads that rock with him too. Because when he was working with Nicki and Kanye, I don't know if either one of them had any type of conversation with him about how he was moving in the industry. They could not have, but that would have been the perfect time. Or was it, hey, he's hot, he got the numbers right now, he gets millions of views, let me mess with him. And that just brings it to when he gets out, which he's probably going to be out at the top of 2020. And when he gets out, are people going to, and if he starts to get the numbers again and have millions of views and viewers and all of this, will people mess with him again because he got the numbers? That's one thing about the game, man. People will talk mess about you, but hey, if you got the numbers, some dudes' morals out the door. You know what? He got the numbers. I need that. Let me go mess with him. Let me work with him. That's going to be interesting as well to see what happens when he get out. But him snitching, it's not the big deal. Everybody's talking about 6ix9ine snitching, 6ix9ine snitching. Nigga, we knew he was going to do that. Why is that surprising? It's not. He wasn't cut like that. And there ain't no love in the game as far as the dudes around him. So when people use the excuse, well, they was effing his baby's moms and they was this and they was that, blah, blah, blah. Ain't no love in this game. But that's how you know he wasn't cut from that cloth, because he ain't know that. You gon' and sometimes coming up in this game that's how it's gonna be. When I say this game, I'm not talking about the culture. I'm talking about the street-ish. You gang banging, man. It's documented. Most of the time, when your empire goes down, your block or anything, is usually because people within that clique couldn't get along, or somebody was jealous and mad at somebody else within the clique, which is what makes it crumble. Jealousy. That's usually what happens. And in this case of 9 Trey and 6ix9ine, that's pretty much what happened, man. And again, I'm not surprised that 6ix9ine snitched. We knew that 6ix9ine would snitch. What's more interesting about this story and interesting to watch is watching these dudes beef over him. It's like a beef, like he a female, like somebody F somebody's baby's mom or something. I mean, and it's like that, you know what I'm saying? Ain't nothing different. It's like it's the bag. Because it's the bag. That bag that was coming in with 6ix9ine was changing folks' lives. You know what I'm saying? So I get it. And what 6ix9ine didn't understand, you was getting into this lifestyle with some street dudes where there ain't no love, nigga. So, again, said all that to say, not surprised about 6ix9ine snitching. that's not even the most interesting part of this case. And prayers to those guys who went out and did all of these things for him. Shoddy, I don't know, whatever. There's some other dudes implemented into this, but I don't think that they're doing any type of time. I don't know if they have cases or court coming up anytime soon. But anybody who went out and did something because he ordered it, prayers to you guys, because now you got he in there, he telling on y'all, and now y'all got to do these years, and he going to be home in a few months. So, prayers to y'all, but hey, the only thing I can say to dudes who doing stuff like that, man, don't be doing stuff for other dudes, man. Watch out for you, because at the end of the day, when he telling, and now you got all these years, and he home chilling with his family, you know what I'm saying? Just start making better decisions about how you moving. But watching this whole set and this whole gang just crumble and go through the beef that they going through based off of this one dude who was never really gang. Hey, it is what it is, you know what I'm saying? You live and you learn. And you live and you learn, and there's so many lessons in this one story. There's so many lessons. I'm not here to preach to you. Hopefully you guys will see it. Hopefully you guys are seeing it. At the end of the day, will 6ix9ine come home and be able to do music or whatever again? Yeah. He's going to have some troubles. It's not going to be easy like people just saying, like he's just going to come home and... Nah, he going to have some people with their foot on his neck. And he going to have some problems. He's definitely going to have to deal with the jokes. He's definitely going to have to deal with being called a snitch for the rest of his life. No matter what he's doing. He's going to have to deal with that. So... we'll see what happens. Right now, the interesting part is this. And also, before I go ahead and get out of here and let you guys go, the fact that he doesn't want to go into witness protection and he's like, I'm just going to hide in plain sight. You know he wants to come home and do music again. He'll just have security, yada, yada, yada. It ain't going to be that easy. He's going to find out he ain't going to be able to just be out here in these streets that easy. He going to be inside more than he is outside, guarantee to y'all. It's going to be interesting to watch his moves when he get out. Everybody was all interested in this court case and what was going on. Look, it was interesting. I paid attention to what was going on. I had my popcorn like everybody else had their popcorn. But him being up there snitching was not a thing to me. The thing to me was watching these dudes crumble around him. And I mean grown men. Grown men. Crumbling. But, I mean, it was all for the bag. They were seeing that money. That money was like, man... But at the end of the day, look, if you ain't about that life, you ain't cut from that, and just don't mess with it. Just don't mess with it. And yeah, there's plenty of snitches out here. Some of the hardest gangsters that we like, man, that dude was hard. Has snitched before, yes. We know it. It's documented, so we can't be fake either, like acting like 6ix9ine is the first person to ever snitch. Because now we got to keep that same energy for 6ix9ine. I'm not going to bring up any names, but for some of these other dudes that we know walking around in Harlem alone that we know snitched, and they still see that dude as a street legend. Now 6ix9ine I'm not. 6ix9ine is far from a street legend. What I'm saying is, we know some real ones who we probably look at as real ones, put in real work, who snitched before. So, we'll see what happens with 6ix9ine when he gets home. Again, him snitching, not a big deal. Knew he would do it from the gate. To me, the dummies is the dude that let him go around and do that and didn't think he would snitch. But, hey, it is what it is. Look, we're going to continue to see what goes on at this point, because I think now we're going to find out, how much extra time he gets, whether he's going to get time served and whatnot and all of that other good jazz. So we'll continue to follow that and see what goes on with that in Tekashi 6ix9ine. Look, I appreciate you guys for tuning into the Red Kool-Aid Podcast. I ain't even going to hold you no much longer, but I would love if you guys would like, comment, subscribe, check your girl out, show your girl some love, man. And I also support back. So if I see you, I might go ahead and just hit you also with that follow and some few likes and comments on your page as well, man. But appreciate you guys for tuning into the Red Kool-Aid Podcast. It's DJ Miss Jetson. Peace. Have a good weekend.